Hi, my name is Maggie. Welcome and please join me for the first episode of my video podcast Maggie Talks, where I am going to talk about the complexities of nature of grammar. But in this session, we are going to talk about the most common mistake that we commit in grammar that we may not be aware of even today. Grammar is a broad topic, so for this session, we will focus with the mistakes and correct usage of articles, prepositions, uncountable nouns, and subject-verb agreement in constructing sentences or phrases. And in addition, I will be illustrating some example to at least clarify each point. So to start with, let us begin with our topic, the articles. The articles the, a, and an. The is a definite articles, while a and an are both indefinite articles. So one common mistake is the confusion between the usage of the articles a and an. Am I right? But let us all remember the general rule that a is used before the words that starts with a consonant sounds, while on the other hand, an is used before the words that starts with a vowel sounds. Like for example, the sentence above. The sentence, I saw an interesting movie last night. It sounds correct, isn't it? It sounds correct, but if we check it, there's something wrong in it. Yes, you are right. The article a is incorrect. Following the rule, it should be, I saw an interesting movie last night. Moving on to another mistake that we commit in using articles is the omission of definite articles. Refer to the example given above. In the sentence, I went to zoo, it sounds correct. Am I right? And the thought is there. But following the rule, it should be written, I went to the zoo. We let us remember that we should not omit the articles because articles is part of the sentence. And please, may I remind you, there are two ways on how to pronounce the article the. It is pronounced as the if it's followed by a consonant word, and on the other hand, it is pronounced as the if it follows with a vowel word. For example, the dog and the elephant. Now let's tackle prepositions. Many of us struggle with the correct usage of prepositions in sentences. One common mistake is using the wrong prepositions or using prepositions interchangeably. For instance, the difference between the usage of in and on. In is used when referring to something inside an enclosed space, while on is used when referring to something on a surface. Like for example in the sentence, the book is on the drawer. This sentence is actually incorrect. The correct one should be, the book is in the drawer, because that means inside a drawer. Another example is, the pen is in the table. This is incorrect again. The correct one should be, the pen is on the table, meaning the pen is on top of the table. Another common mistake regarding prepositions is we tend to omit prepositions in a sentence or sentences. For example, the sentence eat yourself. Eat yourself had a thought. It is called a sentence. It can stand alone, had a meaning. But adding a preposition to it can make another meaning. Eat by yourself has another meaning. So omitting the preposition in a sentence changes the thought or the meaning of a sentence. Eat yourself means you eat yourself, while on the other hand, eat by yourself means you eat alone. Next, let us discuss the uncountable nouns. These are nouns that cannot be counted or pluralized, meaning single form word. One common mistake is using them with an articles like a or an. But let us remember that uncountable nouns don't take articles. For example, milk and water, they are both uncountable nouns. So, it is incorrect to say a milk or a water. Instead, we can say a cup of milk or a cup of water, a glass of milk or a glass of water. Another common mistake that we commit is that we treat uncountable nouns as countable. Like for example in the sentence, there are many informations available. this is technically incorrect. Why? Because information is uncountable noun, meaning we cannot pluralize it by just adding an S to an end of it. And let me tell you, there is no such word as informations. We don't say informations, we don't say many informations, we don't say some informations. Instead, we can say there is much information available. Did I make sense? And since uncountable nouns cannot be pluralized, meaning it is in a singular form, therefore, our sentence is in singular form followed by a singular verb. There is much information available. Another example is, I need advices. We don't say advices. Instead, we can say just, I need advice to make it correct. Or, we can say, I need a piece of advice. I need a couple of advice. I need a word of advice. I need 2 pieces of advice. The same goes with information. I need a piece of information. I need a couple of information. Finally, let's touch on subject-verb agreement. This is very crucial in ensuring that the subject and the verb in a sentence match in number. This is the most common mistake that we commit. The incorrect matching of singular or plural subjects with the verbs. To illustrate it further, let's have this example above. The cat drank milk. This sentence is technically incorrect. The correct one should be, the cat drinks milk. Why? Because the cat, our subject, is in singular form, is a singular subject, therefore it should take a singular verb too, which is the drinks. Another example, the cats drink milk. Again, this sentence is technically correct. Why? Because the cats is plural, therefore it should take a plural verb, drink. Now you may be wondering, why did I say it is the most common mistake that we commit? The incorrect matching of subject to the verb. It is technically because we get confused. Which one is the correct form of the verb? Which one is singular and which one is plural? And also one more thing. If we see S or ES at the word or at the verb, we think of it as plural form of the verb, which is the opposite of it. Generally, singular form of the verb have an S on it, have an S at the end, just like the drinks, walks, and runs. And on the contrary, the plural form of the verb is the base form or the base word of the verb itself. For example, drink, run, walk, meaning the spelling doesn't change at all. Another common mistake that we commit with regard to subject-verb agreement is we ignore the collective nouns. Collective nouns are names of a collection or a number of people, animals, or things taken as a whole. One thing we should remember when we use collective nouns in sentences is to use the right form of the verb. For the rule, singular collective noun takes singular verb. Plural collective noun takes plural verb. For example, the team are playing well. This sentence is technically incorrect. Why? Because the team here is a collective noun, singular collective noun. Therefore, it should follow a singular verb. So the correct sentence should be, the team is playing well. We have the singular collective noun, therefore we should have a singular verb. Another example, my family enjoyed this resort. This is technically incorrect, and the correct one should be, my family enjoys this resort. Now let's have the example in plural form. Families enjoys this resort. This sentence is technically incorrect, and the correct one should be, families enjoy this resort. Another mistake that we commit with regard to subject-verb agreement is the misinterpretation of compound subjects. Compound subjects are subjects in the sentence that is joined by the preposition "and," and it usually takes a plural verb, regardless whether those subjects are singular or plural. For example, peanut butter and jelly is my favorite sandwich. This is incorrect. The correct one should be, peanut butter and jelly are my favorite sandwiches. Following the rule, whether the subject is plural or singular, the verb should be in plural form. To sum up, mastering grammar requires attention to details, especially when it comes to articles, prepositions, uncountable nouns, and subject-verb agreement. By understanding these common mistakes and practicing the correct usage, we can improve our writing and communication skills significantly. Today's episode has concluded. Thank you so much for tuning in to Maggie Talks. Join me next time for more episodes. Until then, keep learning and refining your language skills. Goodbye!